Welcome to my channel. Subscribe and enjoy my new stories every day. It was a Friday afternoon, the sun bathing the city in its golden glow as I closed the door behind Stacy. She was bubbling with excitement about the upcoming bachelorette party for one of her close friends. "It's gonna be epic, Jack. Just a wild girl's night out," she chirped, adjusting the sparkling tiara on her head. Her laughter was infectious, and I couldn't help but smile, genuinely happy that she was getting this time with her friends. "Have fun, babe," I said, giving her a peck on the cheek. "Don't do anything I wouldn't do." Her laughter echoed down the hallway as she joined the chorus of cheers from her awaiting friends in the Uber outside. The evening stretched before me in quiet solitude. Just me, a pizza, and some old movies. It was a perfect setup to unwind. Days later, the usual post-weekend calm was shattered by a ping from my laptop. An email notification flashed across the screen with the subject line, "You deserve better." Puzzled, I clicked it open, my eyes not fully prepared for the images that loaded. There was Stacy, barely clothed, her arms draped over some guy, both laughing amidst a very raucous party scene. Image after image told the same sordid tale, my wife, the life of a party that was clearly not just a girl's night out. My heart sank to the pit of my stomach, each photo a hammer striking blows to my trust. The sender, a name I recognized immediately, Laura, Stacy's friend, someone she had known since college. But why would Laura send these to me? Shaken, I dialed Laura, my hands trembling with a cocktail of anger and betrayal. "Jack." Laura's voice was hesitant, laced with pity. "I thought you should know the truth." "The truth?" My voice cracked, the words barely a whisper. "She's been doing this for a while, Jack. Not just last night. I care about you, and you deserve to know." The conversation blurred into a muffled cacophony as my mind tried to piece together the debris of my shattered trust. Betrayed by my wife and informed by her lover's rival in love. The irony was as bitter as it was painful. Days turned into weeks of icy confrontations and silent dinners. The house felt colder, the spaces between us filled with unspoken words and stifled emotions. The divorce papers came as a relief, a mutual surrender to the brokenness that could not be mended. The last time I saw Stacy, she was standing on the doorstep, her eyes hollow, her voice a whisper of the woman she used to be. "I'm sorry, Jack." I closed the door quietly, her apologies hanging lifeless in the air. That chapter of my life was over, and although the betrayal stung, it was time to rebuild, alone. As I sat in the quiet aftermath, the images still burned bright in my memory, a stark reminder of the price of misplaced trust. But Laura's words echoed through the emptiness. "You deserve better." Yes, I did, and it was time to find out what better looked like. The weeks that follow are a blur of anger-fueled actions and sleepless nights. As I tear through the remnants of our shared life, pictures, clothes, every little memento, it feels like I'm tearing out parts of my own soul. But the pain is sharp, a constant reminder that fuels my resolve for retribution. On a chilly Thursday evening, my phone buzzes. It's Laura. Her name on the screen brings a of mixed emotions, gratitude and unease mingling uncomfortably. "Jack, we need to talk. Can you meet me at the Oakwood Cafe?" Her text reads. I hesitate, my thumb hovering over the screen. Part of me yearns for more information, any detail that might give me closure, while another part recoils at the thought of delving deeper into the treachery. After a moment's contemplation, curiosity wins. "See you in 30, I text back. The cafe is dimly lit, a stark contrast to the glaring truths I'm about to confront. Laura is already there, seated in a corner booth, a steaming cup of coffee in front of her. She looks up as I approach, her eyes reflecting a storm of emotions. "Jack," she begins, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't know how else to help, but there's more you should know." I slide into the booth, my body taut with anticipation. "What more could there possibly be, Laura?" She hesitates, takes a deep breath, and then spills the secrets. "Stacy wasn't just cheating with random men. She was involved with someone from your past. Remember Mark from college? It's been him all along." Mark. The name hits me like a punch to the gut. my college roommate, my once best friend. The betrayal deepens, and a cold rage settles in my veins. Why? Why him? The question is more to myself than to Laura. She said he made her feel alive, like she was back in her wild college days. I thought knowing this might help you somehow. I scoff, a harsh, hollow laugh that fills the tiny space between us. Help me? Knowing she chose him makes this 1,000 times worse. Laura reaches across the table, her hand tentative. I'm so sorry, Jack. If there's anything I can do. I pull back, shaking my head. Just help me make them pay. Her nod is solemn, resolute. Anything you need. The next few days are a whirlwind of planning. Together, Laura and I devise a plan to expose Stacy and Mark. We gather evidence, texts, emails, photographs. Everything that paints a clear picture of their deceit. It culminates on a cold Friday night at a party hosted by mutual friends, the same crowd from our college days. The air is thick with nostalgia, the perfect backdrop for our drama. As Stacy and Mark laugh over drinks, oblivious to the gathering storm, I step forward. The room falls silent as I begin, every eye on me, every ear straining. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought we were here to celebrate friendships, old and new. But it seems we're also here to celebrate betrayals. Stacy's laughter dies on her lips as I continue, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. Behold, the perfect couple, my wife and my once best friend. A duo united not just by past, but by deceit. I throw the photos on the table between them, the evidence stark under the glaring party lights. Whispers ripple through the room as the images are passed around, each one a nail in the coffin of their facade. Stacy stands abruptly, her face ashen. Jack, I save it. I cut her off, my words slicing through the tension. We're done. Everyone here knows what you are now. I turn to leave, the weight of my wedding ring suffocating. With a swift motion, I pull it off, the cold metal sliding easily over my finger. I drop it in Mark's drink, a final gesture that seals my departure from this chapter of my life. As I walk away, the whispers grow louder, a cacophonous symphony to my exit. I don't look back. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear. I'm free from the chains of their betrayal. The aftermath of the party feels like a battlefield. News of Stacy and Mark's deceit spreads through our circle like wildfire, with me at the eye of the storm. My phone is incessant, vibrating with messages of support, shock, and the occasional misplaced blame. I respond to none. Instead, I focus on the next phase of my plan, legal and personal separation from Stacy. I sit across from my lawyer in his office, a stark, minimalist space that reflects the gravity of our discussion. The papers are crisp, the terms clear. These are the divorce papers, Jack. Once signed by both parties, it'll just be a matter of time, he explains, pointing to the lines marked for signatures. I nod, my hand steady as I sign. Make sure she gets these today. I want this over with. As you wish, he replies, his voice neutral. Hours later, I find myself at a local bar, a dark, secluded spot away from the usual haunts of those I know. The dim lighting is a comfort, shrouding me in anonymity. I nurse a drink, the ice clinking softly against the glass, a stark contrast to the turmoil inside me. As I sit, lost in thought, the door swings open, letting in a gust of cold air and a familiar face. Mark. He spots me instantly, his steps hesitant as he approaches. Jack, he begins, his voice tense. Can we talk? I look up, my gaze cold. There's nothing to talk about. I just want to explain. What? How you betrayed me. How you and Stacy lied to me for months. I interrupt, my voice rising slightly. I know it looks bad, but it wasn't all lies. I mean, it started out. Save it, Mark. I've heard enough lies to last a lifetime. I cut him off, standing to face him fully. The bar is quiet, the few patrons watching the unfolding drama with interest. Mark sighs, running a hand through his hair. I didn't plan for any of this to happen, Jack. It just did. Just did. My laugh is bitter, incredulous. You made choices, Mark. And now you'll live with the consequences. He looks down, defeated. I guess I deserve that. You guess. I step closer, my anger a palpable force. You destroyed our friendship. You helped ruin my marriage. You don't get to guess anything. Silence hangs heavy between us before he nods. Slowly. I'm sorry, Jack. Truly, I am. Sorry doesn't change what happened. I reply, my voice steady despite the storm inside. As Mark turns to leave, a weight lifts off my shoulders, though it does little to ease the pain. The betrayal might be out in the open, but the wounds are deep, festering. Back home, I throw myself into work and rebuilding my life. Each day brings new challenges, but also small victories. A new apartment, a new routine, a new normal. But the hurt lingers, a constant shadow trailing my steps. One evening, as I sift through the remnants of my past life, I come across an old photo album, pictures of Stacy and me, happier times. My hand hesitates, then I shut the album abruptly. No more dwelling. It's time to look forward, not back. But as I toss the album aside, a piece of paper slips out, a receipt from a jewelry store, dated just days before the bachelorette party. Curiosity piqued, I examine it. A purchase for a bracelet, expensive and clearly not for me. It's another piece of the deceit, another lie uncovered. With a newfound resolve, I pick up my phone and dial. It's time to confront Stacy again, to demand the truth about everything. The line rings and then her voice hesitant. Jack, Stacy, we need to talk. There's more I've found out, and I'm not letting this go. The call sets the stage for another confrontation, another chance to untangle the web of lies. The path to healing is long, fraught with pain and revelations, but I'm ready to face it all, head on. The rain pours down in sheets, mirroring the turmoil inside me as I drive to meet Stacy for what I intend to be the last time. My grip on the steering wheel is tight, my jaw set. The receipt from the jewelry store burns a hole in my pocket, a symbol of the final betrayal I'm about to lay bare. We've agreed to meet at a small, secluded park, away from prying eyes, a place that once held memories of early dates and whispered promises under the old oak tree. Now it's just a backdrop for the final act of a tragedy. Stacy is already there, standing under the cover of an umbrella, her figure a shadow against the storm. As I approach, her face is unreadable, her eyes wary. Jack, she starts, her voice shaky. I don't know what you think you found, but the bracelet, Stacy. I interrupt, my voice cold, pulling the receipt from my pocket and thrusting it towards her. Who was it for? Surely not for me. Or was it another gift for your adventures with Mark? Her face pales, and she reaches out a hand, as if to touch me, but I step back. Jack, I can explain. No more lies. My shout cuts through the rain, sharp and clear. I've had enough of your games. This is where it ends. Stacy looks at me, the realization of the finality in my voice sinking in. Jack, please, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, more sorry than you can believe. But I never meant to hurt you. Hurt me? I laugh, but there's no humor in it, only bitterness. You destroyed us, Stacy. And now I'll make sure you lose everything just like I did. I can see the fear flicker in her eyes as she takes in my words. What are you saying, Jack? I've sent everything, photos, emails, this receipt to your family, your friends, and your boss. Everyone will know the truth about who you really are. I say, each word deliberate, watching as she absorbs the impact. Her face crumbles, the facade breaking. You wouldn't. Jack, please think about this. We can still fix. Fix? I interrupt, incredulous. There is no we anymore. There's nothing left to fix. She starts to sob, the sound lost amidst the thrumming of the rain. You're right. I betrayed you. But don't do this. Don't destroy my life. You didn't think twice before playing with mine. I say flatly, turning to leave. Jack. She calls after me, desperation in her tone. But I don't look back. Driving away, the weight of what I've done settles over me. It's not relief. It's a hollow victory, tainted with the bitterness of betrayal. The road blurs before me, rain and tears indistinguishable as they stream down the windshield. Days later, the fallout is complete. Stacy's life unravels just as mine did. Fired from her job, ostracized by friends, disowned by her family. The news reaches me through mutual acquaintances, each update a bitter reminder of the cost of vengeance. One evening, as the last light of day fades, I receive a call. An unknown number. I answer, a sense of foreboding tightening my chest. It's about Stacy, a voice says hesitantly. She couldn't handle the fallout. She took her own life last night. The phone slips from my hand, clattering against the floor. Guilt, sharp and suffocating, washes over me. In my quest for revenge, I had lost sight of the person Stacy once was to me. The complexity of our shared history, reduced to a black and white narrative of betrayal and retribution. I sink to the floor, the full weight of the tragedy pressing down on me. In my ruthless pursuit of vengeance, I hadn't just destroyed Stacy's life, I'd obliterated the remnants of the man I once was. The storm outside has cleared, but in its wake, it leaves a silence too profound to fill. The darkness isn't just around me. It's within, a stark, unyielding void where remorse and realization collide. In the end, the deception was not just Stacy's, it was also mine against myself. And as I faced the nights alone, haunted by the echoes of our past and the silence of her absence, I realized that some victories are too costly, bought at the price of soul's insanity.